For aging adults and retirees, the friendships they've forged over time should be something they can lean on in their later years. But to a fraudster, these close bonds provide the perfect way to lure the unsuspecting into a scam. It's something Steve Feaga has seen all too often.
It could be through a church, it could be a golfing club, it could be a country club, it could be a Rotary club.
They're one of the most common types of scams that Feaga runs into, and it's called affinity fraud.
Affinity fraud is any type of fraud where people are induced to get into it because of a relationship that they have with another victim.
In a recent case, Feaga and his team worked with the FBI to prosecute a local Alabama man, Edward Forehand, for scamming investors out of millions of dollars. Forehand targeted people he knew at his church with the investment of a lifetime. Forehand's pitch went like this. He could sell designer pots and pans to culinary colleges across the country for $2,000 a pop. Once invested in this scheme, people could count on huge profits plus interest.
The scheme is what we call a classic Ponzi scheme because there's actually no pots and pans being purchased. There's no money being generated, no sales happening on college campuses anywhere.
Forehand had enough money at the start to pay the earlier investors' returns. Convinced Forehand was legitimate, those investors spread the word to their friends and loved ones about their profits.
Their friends and family members saw that happen and would say, hey, where did you get the money to buy that car? Or where did you get the money to put the addition on your house? How can I get in? And they would put them in touch with Forehand.
But Forehand could only keep up the illusion for so long.
And over time, this thing grows. Now, eventually it's going to collapse on itself because of the sheer weight and numbers of people who will begin to ask for money back.
3 years later, the scheme collapsed. 87 people, many fellow churchgoers of Forehand's, lost a total of almost $3 million. Though Feaga and his associates were able to get some of the investors' money back, most of it was gone for good.
The most tragic part of Mr. Forehand's scheme is that this half of these people were elderly. They were investing with him their nest eggs. They weren't wealthy people. Their hope was that they could thereby grow that nest egg and actually have a comfortable or a much more comfortable retirement.
Feaga and his team did win some justice for Forehand's victims. Forehand was tried, convicted on all counts, and sentenced to 90 months in prison. The case may be closed, but for Feaga, the lessons people can learn from it still apply today.
If someone offers you an unrealistic rate of return, or someone is pressuring you with high-pressure sales tactics to make an investment quickly, pick up the phone and call your state's Securities Commission.
And organizations like the Alabama Securities Commission are always there to help.
We can make a few phone calls and we can find out definitively very quickly, and we can save people tremendous emotional stress, financial damage, and sometimes, ruin.
Find out more by visiting wi65.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.